was somebody who loved life. He absolutely loved it, and you saw it in everything he did.
To a person amongst the group who started Casey House, everyone adored Jim.
He was tremendously important in the creation of the vision and the actual implementation of that vision, Casey House becoming a reality.
The idea that the person would be a resident at Casey House was going to be in charge of his or her dying, that was something that everybody in the group, if they didn't have that opinion at the beginning, certainly had very quickly. And it became the core of what we were doing. And Jim embodied that to a T.
Jim was compassionate, funny, bright, irreverent.
He could have been successful in whatever he chose to do.
There was a theme throughout Jim's career of paying attention to those who are underprivileged, the underdog, people who are on the margins. When Jim was involved in Sherbourne Healthcare Centre, I remember him saying that, you know, transgender members of our community had difficulties accessing healthcare. When he worked as an addictions counsellor in the West End of Toronto, he encountered a lot of clients who had difficulties getting housing. He would go beyond his role.
He just somehow knew the right way to do everything, it seemed to me.
I remember he organized my 40th birthday party and I requested a hike. And of course, it's, you know, getting 12 gay men to go on a hike on a Saturday morning was challenging. And Jim said, don't worry, we'll do it, we'll be there. Jim showed up and he brought a big plastic pig as a mascot for the day, because the outing turned out to be a bit of a comic gay Blair Witch. Jim brought sparkling wine, there were petits fours, there were little date squares, there were linen napkins.
With Jim, anything was possible. I mean, when he set his mind to something, you knew he was going to do it, and he was going to do it well, and you'd have fun at the same time.
And then I think finally the time came for him to challenge himself as an artist. And that happened fairly quickly. Once he started playing with digital cameras and playing with oil paintings and playing with watercolor, he would work night and day. It was around that time he got involved with Snap. He thought it was important for the community members to express themselves. At that point, prior to Snap, there was no formalized event or way around the gay and lesbian transgender community to come together as visual artists and to express themselves visually together.
I think what drove my brother and all the causes he was involved in was just to help people. If there was somebody that needed help and he could help, then he wanted to.
I think Jim would be incredibly touched that this award was launched in honor of June Colwood. June was Jim's quote-unquote unofficial Toronto mother. They bonded, they were like-minded, they were two peas in a pod.
I think both Jim and June really wanted to fight for the underdog, and for the disadvantaged, for the people who didn't have what they needed to get by.
I think we'll always miss him. He'll stay young, we'll get old.